What's up, Facebook Live? What's up, world? How's everybody feeling today? How are those flow feels? I can definitely say that earlier in the week was a little bit rough. Last week was a little bit rough, but definitely feeling really good today. Wanted to come back for day 5 of my Fuck Fear challenge. A little bit of resistance getting on, not too much, a little bit of heart racing, but as Mystic Misfits say, that means you're on the right path. So, wanted to jump on today and talk about love because I had this download yesterday when I was walking my dog and wanted to talk about how love is obviously so mysterious. Everybody wants love, everybody's searching for it. You know, you want to find that right person. And so it's always this lifelong journey of, am I going to find the one? What's going to happen? Something magical is going to happen. And basically, love is obviously the most powerful force in the universe. But nobody really talks about self-love. Well, people talk about self-love, but really self-love, they say, oh, you should love yourself. And oh, I'm going to do this because I love myself and I don't need that. But it's sort of like ... What happens when nobody tells you how to love yourself? It's like there's no manual and everybody's here on a totally different path, doing a different journey. You know, we've all got past traumas to heal and nobody can really tell us how to heal ourselves and how to basically live self-love. So I sort of had some downloads about self-love this week that I wanted to share from my point of my experience. And basically, I want to say that I think self-love is either built up or taken down. And so is self-empowerment. You're either empowering yourself or being disempowered by the decisions and choices that we make. So whether or not we invite something into our space or whether or not we walk away from something, that can either build our self-love or knock it down. You know, whether we stay in a relationship where we feel abused and we feel sad that we didn't walk away sooner, that can take away a lot of our self-love, or we can make the decision to leave and speak up, and that can build our self-love. So I think that, you know, every time we leave a situation that we're uncomfortable with or doesn't feel aligned with us, that's building our self-love and that's empowering ourselves. And every time we, you know, search deep in our hearts and we decide that we want to trust our inner guidance, that's building our self-love and that's building our power. So we're empowered. And I think every time we say fuck fear and we keep continuing on the path that we know that is right for us, we're developing our gifts, we're following our passions, and we're aligned with our soul purpose. I think that, you know, we're building that self-love and we're feeling empowered. So I think the decisions that we make can either build us up or tear us down. You know, every time you're in the mirror and you catch your eyes and you're thinking, oh my God, I love myself and I love my experience. I love everybody that I meet. And, you know, I'm just happy to be here having this experience. That's building our self-love and our empowerment. And I think that whenever we decide, you know what, I need to take a break. I need to just lay around and eat cupcakes in my bed and just, you know, look at, you know, online stuff and just totally take a siesta. That's aligning with Spirit's highest vision for your life. You're taking a break. You're doing what you need to do. You're honoring your inner rhythm. Every time we choose ourselves, we're developing our self-love and we're becoming empowered. It's really interesting because everybody wants love and everybody chases love and you want to be in a relationship. But then, you know, a lot of us, and this was me for so many years, I was so scared to be alone. I wanted to always be in a relationship, and everything in my life, my balance, my self-love, my worth, everything was predicated on what was happening in that relationship. And you might be living that right now, or you might be past that. I know it's really hard when you're in a relationship to obviously be in balance yourself and then be in balance as a couple. And you get knocked out of balance a lot because, you know, everything that you feel is sort of predicated on what's happening with this person. You know, do they want you? Do they not want you? Did they call you? Did they not call you? Like, you're so worried, and that's definitely not a really comfortable and happy place to be. But I think that, you know, basically, yeah, Tiffany cupcakes in bed, that's totally my jam. But definitely like taking some time to be alone. I mean, being alone is amazing. If you haven't ever taken time to be alone, you've always been in relationships back to back to back, take a siesta, take some time to get to know yourself, because once you know who you are and what you want, your relationships will really flow from there and they'll be a lot smoother. So basically, you know, claim yourself. If nobody wants you right now, or you feel like you're not getting attention or you're not finding the right people, go within and claim yourself. Go within and love yourself. Go within and do things that make you feel empowered and in love with yourself. because every single relationship that you have is a reflection of your internal world. So everything that you're experiencing is letting you know about your triggers. It's letting you know about maybe some patterns that you have that you want to clear out in this lifetime. Every single thing that is happening is telling you, pointing you back home to loving yourself. It's, you know, this beautiful journey that we're on, but nobody tells us really how to do it. But I do know for sure that self-love is something that is a lifelong journey. You're always trying to love yourself more and more. You may sometimes feel like, oh my God, my skin is a mess this week, or I don't really feel super skinny. And then you start looking at somebody else who maybe is an ideal situation that you're in, and you start feeling bad about yourself. And you're like, but man, I just want to love myself. And it's a really hard thing to do, but we have to pick up all of the pieces and claim all of our shadows and claim all of our light. Because, I mean, have you ever gone to the mirror and looked into your eyes and been like, yeah, I love myself. Like, I'm just a badass spiritual warrior. And I've started doing that over the past couple of years. I've also used some other tools, but you know, there's never going to be anyone else that's like you. Like, you're amazing. And if you feel like people don't see you, or people don't, you know, comment on stuff that you're doing, or whatever may be happening where you feel sort of insecure, just pump yourself up in the morning, write yourself love letters and get pumped up and share yourself with the world. For like the longest time, I always felt like this watered down version of myself. Like, I was scared to dye my hair, and I was scared to do this and say that and step outside of the crowd. You know, I was absolutely terrified. And I thought to myself one day, you know, there's something missing here with this self-love thing. I really can't, you know, love myself if I don't even know who I am. Okay, back up. That's pretty deep, right? So if you don't know who you are, and you feel like you're a watered down version of yourself because you're fearful, and fear is driving your decisions, and fear is sort of suffocating you from being who you want, how can your partner, your spiritual partner, that your ride or die that you're looking for to run wild with, find you? Because you don't know who you are. So what I see a lot of people, and this was me too for years, just chasing people and wanting to understand why they didn't want me or they didn't see me. I hadn't wanted me and I hadn't seen me. So inner reflection, showing your reality. Obviously your reality is a reflection of what's happening inside of you. It's lessons, it's your triggers, it's your patterns, it's past trauma that needs healing. Like, everybody needs healing, and it's the hardest thing, all of these things, because it's like, you know, you're looking around and you're like, is somebody going to guide me? Is somebody going to tell me? But, you know, it's this amazing journey where you have to kind of figure out, you know, what you need to know on your own. Yeah, we have friends along the way, like in The Wizard of Oz, you meet some cool people and you're like, oh yeah, I see you, what's up? And you fall in love with them and you have a soul connection and they help you. But yeah, I mean, I didn't want to be that watered down version of myself anymore. I wanted to see me and claim me. So I'm telling you right now, if you're struggling and you want to know about self-love, just have that awareness, take that power pause, and think about, is this decision a fuck yes, as my friend Kevin says, or is this decision a fuck no? And if it's a fuck no, don't go that way. That's definitely not the path for you. And every time you choose a fuck yes, you're going closer to your home space and your heart space. And you're gonna start building that self-love, and you're gonna know more about who you are and where you wanna be and what you wanna do. And you're gonna find your peeps along the way. You're gonna be like, what's up? Yeah. You know, I found you because I was being myself. So if we're not ourselves, then we have a hard time loving ourselves, all of ourselves. And, you know, that takes away from the power that we are, that takes away from the love that we are. And that's why I think most of us struggle, and I couldn't put my finger on it for like literally the longest time why I felt like that. But the more I started doing things that were aligned with me, I started finding my soul family, I started loving myself more. And it's a lifelong journey, obviously. I mean, it doesn't happen overnight, like, oh my God, I love myself. As one of my friends used to say, my friend Glenn Anderson, who I love, who's in Boston, shout out to him and Teresa, he said to me once when we talked about self-love, well, you know, there's confidence, so you've got a lot of confidence, you know, you're badass in public and people, you know, listen to what you say. And then there's self-esteem, how you feel inside, you know, when you're alone and no one's around. And then there's swag, and that's just like, yeah, magnetizing, like, look at me, swag, swag, swag. And some people have it. So there's like all these different levels and all these little pieces, but I can promise you, if you're struggling right now, just try to make the decisions that feel right for you and are aligned with you. And that will build your self-love, and that will make you basically reclaim your power. And every single day that I do this fuck fear, which is really scary to be chatting on here and just sort of rambling, I feel stronger and stronger. I feel more and more powerful. I feel beautiful, and I'm getting the most amazing messages. I feel inspired by everyone who joins my videos and all of the private messages. You know, people have been telling me that I'm making a difference in their life, and I'm inspired. I'm inspired that I get to connect with so many beautiful souls and that we're all here having this badass spiritual experience. So let me know in the comments how you feel about self-love. And what makes you feel loved? What makes you feel good? And what makes you feel empowered? Claim back your power, because, you know, one of the interesting things that Amy Jo Goddard talks about in one of her books is power, our voice, our creativity, and our sexuality are one and the same. So if those are not strong in some way, shape, or form, the other ones are affected. So maybe you don't feel, you know, like you have a voice or you're in your power, and that's going to slow down or block your creativity. And so when I have been doing the Fuck Fear Challenge, and I have been embracing more and more of myself, and I'm not that watered down scared version that I was for so many years, I feel like creativity is just flowing. The flow feels are ridiculous. I spent 8 hours writing my book yesterday, and, you know, every now and then I hit resistance where it's fear and it's scary, but you got to kind of like move through it and keep choosing yourself, keep choosing you, keep claiming yourself, keep making decisions that empower you, and keep loving yourself. So leave in the comments and let me know how you guys feel about this, and if there's anything else that you guys want me to do a video on. But that was just a massive download I had today about how everyone tells us, yeah, you know, love yourself, but ... okay, how? So it's so confusing. So this is just some of the things that I've learned. What are the ways that you've learned to bring more self-love into your life, to reflect that out into the world in your relationships? And what do you do? What makes you feel empowered? And what are you scared to do? So I'm going to leave you guys with In Love We Know, In Love We Flow, and I'll be back next week. Love you guys.